Did you know that French Guiana is much more than just a tropical destination? This corner of South America hides dark and controversial stories, especially when it comes to its women. Many tourists come here drawn by more than just the jungle and gold. What they discover is a much harsher and more complex reality, one that few dare to talk about. Stay with us, and you'll understand why this place generates so much interest, and what nobody tells you about the relationships between local women and foreigners. French Guiana is one of those places that often goes unnoticed, but its history and current reality leave no one indifferent. Despite being part of France, this small territory in South America seems to exist in another world, far removed from modernity. The country blends African, indigenous, and European cultures. Here, natural wealth coexists with poverty, and daily life moves between the jungle and the few developed cities. The contrasts are striking. On one hand, it's an unexplored natural paradise, and on the other, a land marked by ongoing social, economic, and political tensions. French Guiana's current situation is the result of several historical, economic, and social factors. As a French territory, it has inherited a degree of economic dependence and, in some areas, certain modern infrastructure. However, its location in South America has kept it isolated from the benefits of European development. France's colonial policies have left behind significant inequality, where indigenous and Afro-descendant communities have been marginalized. Over time, French Guiana's economy has relied heavily on the public sector and financial aid from France. The lack of strong local industries has perpetuated a situation of dependence and unemployment. Additionally, illegal mining, particularly gold extraction, has increased social tensions, causing violence, environmental issues, and labor exploitation. The cultural mix, while rich, has also been a source of tension. French influence, combined with African and indigenous traditions, has created a unique identity, but it has also made social cohesion more difficult. Women, in particular, have been affected by these factors, facing issues like gender inequality, lack of opportunities, and even more severe problems that we'll explore later. In recent years, tourists and foreigners have been drawn to the women of French Guiana, seeing them as one of the main attractions due to their exotic and unique beauty, which makes them incredibly striking. Physically, they are often women with brown skin, curly or straight hair, and intense eyes. They combine French elegance with Latin sensuality. However, what many foreigners don't realize is that their situation is much more troubling than it seems, something that has already been reported and urgently needs to be addressed. In this video, we will delve into these issues to shed light on these alarming realities. In many communities in French Guiana, women play a crucial role in preserving their ancestral customs. Indigenous women, for example, keep traditional practices alive through agriculture, weaving, and natural medicine, while Afro-descendant women participate in festivals that blend African rituals with Catholicism, like the famous Guyanese Carnival. However, these traditions often come with strict family roles, where women are expected to take on the responsibilities of the home and child rearing, sometimes in very precarious conditions. In more extreme cases, it goes further, with women being offered in exchange for money. Domestic violence is just one of the many issues happening in French Guiana, particularly in more isolated communities. Although the French authorities have tried to implement protective measures, many women lack access to legal resources or fear reporting due to potential retaliation. Moreover, gender inequality remains a barrier in all aspects of life. Women in French Guiana have less access to higher education, which limits their job opportunities. This perpetuates a cycle of poverty and economic dependence on men, whether local or foreign. To make matters worse, some foreigners have only intensified these problems. While many tourists come drawn by the country's natural wealth, as we've seen, there's also a darker curiosity about Guyanese women that goes beyond mere physical attraction. For their part, there is a certain respect and admiration for visitors, as they often have a standard of living that is perceived as more advanced or secure. In many cases, foreigners take unethical advantage of this. Often, women feel pressured into relationships with foreigners, either in search of a better life or out of necessity. The main reason is economic stability. While some foreigners seek genuine relationships, others exploit their situation to gain certain benefits. This has also led to marriages of convenience, where local women marry foreigners, often Europeans or Americans. In some cases, these relationships can be mutually beneficial, but in others, they lead to tensions and frustrations when expectations are not met, or when the foreigners only see these women as a temporary escape from their own lives. To make things worse, many of these women have also been neglected by their own government, depriving them of their rights and access to opportunities. At the same time, early marriage rates are high in some of these communities. Despite these challenges, many women in the country are beginning to fight against these injustices and carve out a place for themselves in society. In recent years, there has been a rise in female activism, with women leading movements to protect their rights, combat exploitation, and secure better opportunities. They are also raising their voices in politics, demanding more resources and support from the French government to address the issues that affect them so deeply. Despite all these challenges, the women of French Guiana never lose their smiles or their hope, and many maintain a deep connection to their traditions, nature, and community. Life in French Guiana, especially in rural areas, can be tough, but it has fostered a practical and realistic mindset in many women. Thanks to social media, many women are now able to envision different types of lives and learn new ideas about love, relationships, and independence. This has created a generational and cultural divide, where younger women have different aspirations than their mothers or grandmothers, and in the foreigners who are not looking to take advantage of them, they see a possibility to experience a world beyond what they've known so far. As we can see, the future of French Guiana, like its women, is at a crossroads. This territory, forgotten for centuries, is beginning to redefine its identity. Despite all the challenges, there is still hope that the country can find a new path of progress and continue improving as a society. One of the key aspects for the country's future is its youth, who are now more connected to the outside world than ever before, allowing them to have a global and fairer perspective on life and all they can achieve on their own. Schools and universities are starting to train professionals who aim to give back to their homeland, contributing to the creation of a more just and equitable society. While mining and natural resource extraction remain important sources of income, there's also growing discussion about how to balance the exploitation of these resources with environmental protection and the well-being of local communities. Moreover, tourism, already a significant source of revenue for the country, is now seen as an opportunity to showcase all the good that French Guiana has to offer the world. It's clear that its future will depend on how well the country integrates this development while protecting its people from exploitation. Politically, the country is seeking greater autonomy from France. More and more people are calling for greater control over their own affairs. This quest for a distinct identity that respects local traditions, while also looking toward the future, is essential for the hopes of many Guianese. The hope for this beautiful country doesn't rest solely on its women, but on everyone striving to create their own destiny. If the country can overcome all these challenges, the future could be far more promising and just than many might think. So from here, I want to send all my support to the Guianese community and wish them the best of luck. Now that you've learned more about French Guiana and its women, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which part did you find the most surprising? Don't hesitate to leave me your comments. I'm eager to know what you think. If you found this video interesting, I encourage you to share it with your friends and family so they can also discover the reality of this place. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my upcoming videos, where I'll continue sharing impactful stories and little-known realities from around the world. See you in the next video.